Welcome, everybody, to this panel about AI, or more specifically, generative AI. And we will get into that, what that means. My name is Ásgrímur Sverrisson. I'm a filmmaker and editor of industry website Klapptré. And here in the panel, we have Birgir Tryggvason, Master of Sound, Anna Tómasdóttir, lawyer, Hrafnkell Stefánsson, scriptwriter, Bragi Þór Hinriksson, writer and director, and Jörundur Rafn Arnarsson, visual effects artist.
Supervisor.
Sorry?
Supervisor.
Supervisor. Well, you know, you're an artist. Well, I'm the supervisor. Okay. Anyway, but so we're here to talk about this relatively new thing, generative AI, which is kind of all over the place right now and has the potential to be a very transformative technology. And so we're going to discuss what it means for the industry and the ethical problems and or ethical questions and the legal questions about it. But first and foremost, the creative possibilities and yes, the positive and the negative aspects of those. So, we're going to start first thing just to define the discussion. What is AI? And I have a short description here from, I picked it up from somewhere. Artificial intelligence is the science of making machines that can think like humans. It can do things that are considered smart. AI technology can process large amounts of data in ways unlike humans. The goal for AI is to be able to do things such as recognize patterns, make decisions, and judge like humans. And the next thing is, what is generative AI? Generative AI, or Gen AI, we call it spunagreint in Icelandic. Spunagreint. Do you recognize that word? Spunagreint? Okay. Generative AI is a branch of machine learning focused on creating AI models that learn from pre-existing content, such as images, video files, text, and audio. These models ultimately create new, never-before-seen content on demand. Do you want to expand on these definitions, or Jörundur, do you want to start?
No, I think that's, I mean, there's some technical definitions you could go into as well. I mean, the main one being neural networks. So, you know, we've all been living with algorithms for 30 years now, basically. And you could look at these neural networks as algorithm feeding its own algorithm, and then exponentially, you know, basically evolving in that sense, you know. But yeah, there are many very technical, which I won't get into and won't bore you. I'm not an expert in that, but I do know it a little bit, yeah. So,
yeah. Does anybody else want to add to this?
I think it's just interesting to call it generative AI versus AI. So it's like a definition in order to, you know, kind of make a space for the creative aspect, but leaving the AI as another thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the generative AI is a very defined type thing, which basically comes down to that you're generating something from scratch. You have a base knowledge, base kind of a learning model that then generates absolutely original content, basically. Yeah.
So like AI would be an emotional being, you know, with all thinking and you know, but this one is, you know, supposed to create something.
Yeah. We will probably get into this aspect as the discussion progresses. But I want to talk about the creative possibilities. Where are we at? How could it be? The positives and the negatives. So I picked up this quote from, there was this guy who runs an AI company. And he said, the people right now who are most resistant to the technology are also those who are going to be the best at using it. So he's probably referring to all this resistance from the artistic community towards AI. Because basically, I think everybody are asking themselves, where am I in this AI world? Where do I come into it as a creative artist? So maybe the first question is, where are we with generative AI right now? Bragi, if you want to start?
Yeah, maybe from experience, like we are making a movie right now, which we have been using AI in terms of concept art, you know, and also creating log lines, you know, from the concept, marketing material, artwork ideas, something that helps us to express to the artist at the end what we are looking for, you know, what kind of maybe a poster ideas and artwork, and also with communicating towards it with the visual effects, how we see like a set extension or something like that. And I welcome this, you know, aspect of it very much because number one, it's really fast. It gives us an idea almost immediately while we're editing how something can look, you know. If we have a green screen shot and another green screen shot and we want to extend something, we can go into Photoshop or Midjourney or whatever, and within 10 minutes we can have a mock-up of something that we are looking for.
Yeah.
You know, this kind of work we are constantly using it for.
Mock-up is kind of the key word here, isn't it? Because it's like our job is so much about seeing things in our head and trying to get that onto the screen, isn't it? I mean, that's the journey. But so often it's very time-consuming to actually finish those ideas and trying to get them across to others who have to work with you, right? Yeah,
especially if you can't draw or me. And and I welcome this very much.
Rafgjell, what would you say about the use of?
Yes, if I can add to Bragi, because most of my work has done with using AI as a tool for writing, but like image generation for pitch decks as well. Because like my pitch deck used to be a Word document with a PDF, and I chose a nice font to make it look sexy. But now I can have like images of like I have like project about a person from now traveling to the past. I can't find that shot anywhere, but now I can have it in a pitch deck. I find it pretty much sucks at writing at the moment, like writing scenes and stuff. So I'm a positivist, so maybe that, I don't know, maybe it will be good at it at some point. But it's very useful in shortening, as you said, doing log lines. If you have like a nice master treatment.
Summarizing something that's really, you know, too many words.
All of those people who have applied for the Film Fund, which I think is the most boring thing in the world, doing like 1 page, 4 page, this, but now I have a master treatment and it kind of gives me like a 4 page, and then it's like 80%. It's only, it's my story, it's not creating anything new, so and then I just have to tweak it, and it saves. It's like having an assistant. But so it's very useful for that.
Google on steroids.
And Google for research.
So it's like a time saver, basically.
And
helps you generate ideas in some ways.
It itself, I think it's not very good at like giving ideas, but I created like a custom GPT, which the only function of that GPT is to ask me questions. So I put in like, oh, I would like to do something about photos on a wall. And it goes, why do you like that? And then I told it never let me finish my answer. So it's like, oh, maybe because it's the past. And it goes, what about the past is interesting to you? It's like, it's a thing you do in your head, but it's somehow helpful to have somebody else ask you the questions, even though I trained it to do it.
Oh, that's very interesting.
That's kind of, and it took like 5 minutes to make that custom
It's like having somebody who's only focused on you and what you were thinking.
Yes.
And trying to help you.
Yes, and
We all
also,
want that, yes?
and you can also you can ask it to be very negative if that's what you need, or you can be like, good job. And then you feel like positive because we're also insecure.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Personal shrink.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Maybe one.
Sorry, Anna, do you want to say something about all this, or
I think I might
from
just
the legal point of view?
later. I think I might talk for too long if I start now.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I mean.
Yeah, we will get into the legal stuff later. Yes.
I don't have any fun stories like that.
Okay, sure. So you're lawyers, you're not using this stuff?
Not right now, but I'm sure some are already using it.
Yeah. You always have to look for the examples of how judgments have been made.
And you're trained to double check and triple check everything and don't trust anything. And so.
Yeah. Birgir, what do you want to say about all this?
It didn't take much to offend me a couple of years ago when somebody contacted me and asked me, can you make this sound like Hans Zimmerman did it? And I was like, really? It hurt. But then again, today, I love the fact that I can basically do one bar of music and then ask a software, which is, like I told you earlier, I tend to approach it as it has autism. Because it is learned behavior. And seriously, it is, I have to take the final decision. This is all learned behavior. Creative comes from me. The add-on comes from pushing enter on the software. Okay? So when somebody asks me to do something that requires me just to use my fingers, not my brain, I love it. I absolutely love it. On the other hand, when somebody asks me to use my brain to make music or make anything creative, I love it. Seriously, I love it. So I read somewhere that AI is not going to replace you. You're going to be replaced by people who use AI.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good point.
Did you hear that?
That's something that my son, which has autism, he has a very wonderful scene on life. Like I have told Daddy this story about, we have in Icelandic, many Icelandic here, we say, hoppa í skóna. He did it. You know where I'm going with this. He actually did it. When I told him to skralla kartöflun, helmingina kartöflun, he did it. He took the whole bag, took off only half of the potatoes. And I put that picture online, and it went viral. He has a wonderful scene on life, which I think both generic and regular AI, just AI in general, if you treat it as that, you will get exactly that and then some. Am I making sense? No. So if somebody calls me and says, hey, listen, Vicky, can you do we need music to this scene here. Can you make it sound like Totmobile? And I go, sure, why not? But if you call me and do, hey, we're doing a city, blah, 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 could you make music for that? Original? Yeah, sure. Then I just turn off AI. I don't need AI. I don't need it. But it's a fun approach. And I love it.
But I mean, I've seen many musicians on YouTube using this new music AI stuff. Yeah. And the expression on their faces is like, wow, okay, this is really interesting. Wow, it's going something. I have new ideas now. Yeah, I can work with this. So.
But when I get final picture, lock, that's a totally different work ethics.
Yeah.
I just have to fix things, make the dialogue go in front. I have to clean it up. I use AI software plugins based on AI, like voice recognition or noise reduction. Yeah. That's a totally different ballgame. Yeah. I stay away from everything that says the only thing you need to do is push this button. I stay away from that. I seriously stay as far away from that as I can. Because when they are selling us something that we don't need, I don't like it. But then again, I love AI.
Yeah.
It makes my life easier
Yeah.
and much quicker.
Yeah. So, Jörundur, where are we with the use of AI and visual effects right now? I mean, where do you see the possibilities, and what's new from the tools you used before?
So for quite a few years now, we've had quite a lot of machine learning integrated into the various software.
Okay.
And also the bigger studios, they have their own tools. My own company, we've done quite a bit of deep fake work, which is also often connected to AI networks. So, and that was maybe the first kind of really attention-grabbing implementation of AI from our industry. That's now evolved into pretty standard workflows in terms of, for example, de-aging or aging people. I had one job where I was asked to basically deep fake a person that's now the age they are, but we needed to make them 15 years younger. But that person was available to be in all of the shots, which is kind of like the perfect input data that you can make. That job didn't go anywhere because I said no to it for other reasons, but that's definitely one way that people are using it now. In terms of the machine learning tools inside the software now, it's basically you kind of get an empty AI machine where you input it, you train the software to.
This is your preference. You want.
This is what we have now integrated in the software. So, for example, the most obvious use is, for example, rotoscoping. For those who don't know what rotoscoping is, it's basically masking out people or objects to be able to separate your scene and be able to deal with them in different, affect them in different ways, you know. And rotoscoping is a very manual, labor heavy and very boring, very low cost or low kind of, it's not particularly good business. And in the case of Western companies, we haven't been doing that for many years now, except, you know, a couple of hours here and there, but otherwise we send that to India mainly, and there's some brilliant companies there that do a great job. And those companies are struggling. They are losing a lot of business, you know, so it's definitely affecting the industry in India and Bangladesh and so on, you know, which is a shame because it was good work and it often was a platform for them to then rise and go into higher level work, you know, to start there. And so that's a bit of a shame, but that's been a part of our industry for a long time. Is like new software comes along and makes it a lot easier, so now we don't need to do the manual part of it. But that being said, like even when we're training our own networks, it's quite faulty still, and you can maybe, you know, you can because you were talking about directing and an assistant and so on, you know, I could maybe compare it to if you found the most clueless junior person on set and you wanted to give them now the heads of department instructions, you know, like the DP or the gaffer or something like that, and then hope that they would execute that. That's somewhere in the region where you are as an end user often with this, you know, it's like, okay, they have some kind of an idea, but there's quite a big amount of errors that come back, which I manually need to go in and fix. And
Let me pull one on you right there. The fault with humans and people in general, the people in our line of business tend to promote themselves beyond their competent.
For sure.
Which is,
yeah.
AI doesn't do that.
Well, there are actually examples of AI deceiving and lying and so on. So
That's because they've been taught.
Really?
yes, there is a recent example actually, but I understand what you mean. The bullshit factor is definitely not something you have to deal with constantly.
And when somebody calls me and asks me to do music that makes sounds like Zimmerman, it's because of the budget.
Yeah.
It is a budget thing. It is a money thing always.
Yeah.
Of course.
Can you help us?
And that's also a legal question which we will get into later on.
Just to round off, I would say, I would say I was actually at a presentation from one of the biggest visual effects software companies, Autodesk, yesterday. And they showed me some stuff that's in development, not released yet, and that was quite exciting. One thing that was really amazing to see was a system that could basically take. Now, we all know, or many people here probably know keyframing in animation, you know, where you basically put a keyframe here and there, and then it interpolates between those two keyframes. Now it doesn't interpolate. You, instead of maybe making 200 keyframes for 700 frame shot, now you basically tell it, you're going to start here, you're going to take a turn here, and you're going to end up here. And that's all you tell it. And it had the whole motion library. All the motion was correct. All the deformation, which is a big thing in our thing, is how muscles are deforming and how clothing moving. All of that was basically generated on the fly and really quickly as well.
So your prompt is a prompt.
It was a prompt, but you're doing it through. You're not. It's not a text prompt. You're using this was a Maya implementation, so you're using the 3D software. But you know, instead of what we do when we're doing animation, for example, we build a bone structure, we build a muscle structure, and we simulate a deformation. How, if I move my arm like this, you need to deform like this, and so on. This is all basically given from a big library which you would build up in a company.
But can you adjust any detail where you want and when you want?
Yeah, then you can exactly go in and iterate and say, listen, here the leg is too high on this turn, bring it down and stuff.
Because that's the key, isn't it? I mean, you have to be able to control the finest details when you want it.
Exactly, and that's where I don't really see anytime soon that like artists being replaced is the finite detail that you need to. We all know how picky directors are and so on, so it needs to be exactly like that.
Yeah.
Not kind of like that. It needs to be exactly like that.
Exactly.
But then the final thing that I saw, which also was quite exciting for us, was AI helping with. We use a lot of scheduling software where we build our dependencies. You have to model a CG creature before you animate it and before you light it and so on, So there's a lot of dependencies. So if somebody is sick for a week and nobody remembers to update the scheduling, then everything goes wrong. And this is a constant battle in big productions. But they're working on that, and also working on resource managing, like render farms and computers and licenses, how best to. So this is something that's fairly simple. For a computer, it's simple, but for humans, it's quite time-consuming to do it.
And boring, isn't it? I mean,
really
very
boring.
repetitive. And this is maybe one of the big strengths of AI,
exactly.
is that it's actually good at repetitive things. And
Sound syncing.
Yeah.
And logging and marking, and maybe if you have a 3-camera shoot, it's all on time code. You can actually ask ChatGPT and just create an edit, each time everybody's talking, it's gonna make a multicam edit for you, and then you can come in and adjust it.
Yeah.
Let's say you a few hours.
Yeah, I mean, in this case with the animation, for example, I was watching something that would take a mid to senior animator a week to do, and that was done within half an hour.
Yeah,
thing, you know, so
it's amazing.
yeah, yeah.
Hrafnkell, you're a writer, and you spoke about, well, at least earlier when we were talking, you used it to sort of, perhaps you have written a 15-page treatment yourself, yes?
Yeah.
Then you can ask it to shorten it down for me into 1 page or 4 page. So you don't have to write it, they can do it for you, and you read it over, and it's like, yeah, it's fine, it looks fine.
It's kind of like what he's saying. It's like 80% or something, and then I need to go in to manually tweak it.
Fix the errors.
Yeah, but it's taking that 15-page treatment, or if I just decided to write the script and now I'm going to apply for something or something, you know, that's taking me a couple of days. Now it like generates and it's like 80%, but it still needs that human touch a bit. Like, oh, this is kind of off, or the tone isn't, but it's like
It's really tempting to leave it like that. Because it comes out really, really neat and beautiful, but if you read through it, you know, you really have to.
You tweak, and no, I want more style here, I want more here. And it kind of surprised me how good it was at Icelandic also. I thought when I initially started using it, I had to translate it kind of myself. Now it's good at reading Icelandic as well. I don't need to translate it. Like I put everything in Icelandic, and then like talk about the themes, and it reads subtext quite well. So it's for that, and also for kind of the first step of getting feedback. That's before you send it to your colleagues or something. You know, the feedback from colleagues is always better because there's a human element to it. But like kind of the basic. It can point, like sometimes when you're writing something and you rewrite it and you forget, like, oh, I have the same piece of information at three places. And I can just go look for scenes that are giving me the same, that are unnecessary because it's like, it's already been told. You can give me that as well. So it's like having a great intern.
And writer's block has never been easier, let's say. It's
to deal with, yes.
To deal with, because if you hit a wall, let's say you're in a dilemma with the character, how it would behave in a certain situation or whatever, and you go into a discussion with chat and give her the information about the situation, and you can have an hour of just like chatting with it about what to do and how it would behave, or what would a person do in such and such a situation, and kind of it helps you, keeps you fired up. But ultimately, it's up to you what to use. I mean, like I said, I experience it like a kind of a Google on steroids, interactive.
Yeah. So basically, it's like it's not something. It's still not something that is for final output.
No.
It's for helping you on the way.
Yes.
Also,
we all agree on that. Yes.
Or I was like, well, sometimes you get like, I'm gonna write like a.
It's a crutch.
It's a crutch. Yes.
But sometimes like also for like just reference, when you go, I'm gonna write this type of montage, and like I wonder how, and then like what films are similar to this use, or and it gets.
You get that quickly.
Or like or like you want to like, what would a doctor say to a heart attack? Just tell me what the doctor would say, and then I got that.
We always have to find such details all the time, you know.
Yeah, but I don't have to Google now.
I can specific situations. Yeah.
I would also say in my industry, we now get a lot of concept art directly from directors or producers or so on, and whereas before we were often involved in that, but now people can, we've been doing style books and concept art for a long time, or using reference from other movies maybe or something like that. But now we get this fully generated. It usually looks like crap, to be honest, but at least it's kind of blocked out, and so that discussion now becomes much more precise and much more, quicker and more precise, basically, So,
but we could say, in general, these are early days of AI. and Gen AI. So do you foresee that in the near future we could have much better AI programs that could really help us with a final output? What do you think? Birgir, if you start.
I think we're going to see, my thought, we're going to see narrowed down. If you need AI for this, for that, for salt and pepper, for cooking, for sound, for writing, for this and for that, instead of one big picture.
Yeah.
I mean, because when he was talking, I was like, yeah, I used AI yesterday. Because I was working on the TV show for Steindi and Dóri, and I needed an announcement that flight attendant security speech. Have your seats up, blah, blah, blah. And I had nobody. I was like on Messenger, messaging all my, the girls who I knew I was on board. Could you write the speech for me, blah, blah, blah? And I went, and it came. And I just copied it, pasted it into, and put it into the right sound space, and Bob's your uncle.
Brilliant.
So I was like, damn, that hurt. I love it.
On the side of music, Biggie, my friend was going to a 50-year-old party. His friend was 50 years old, and he actually created a rap song in Icelandic language that sounded like Rottweiler or something, with lyrics about his life. And he played it for me, and I was like, what? It sounded exactly like an Icelandic rap band with Icelandic lyrics, all AI. Crazy.
When you say that you're using AI, what
program? I set it into ChatGPT. Then I took just the words.
Other kinds of
I have gone. I tested a little bit something called Kling or Clang, which is, and I asked it to make a 10-second video for me of a bearded, fat chef working his pots and pans, and it took like 20 seconds, and I was like, this is just a little bit too much. And it was a bearded guy. It didn't exist, never seen it before, but yeah, he was working his pots and pans, and it took 20 seconds online. So I'm thinking, why not sell this as a Knorr? I'll make a little money out of it while I'm doing it. But I want to, actually, one thing that I cannot get over is when I ask, show me a picture of a typical Icelandic man, and I get this face, and I get it up, and it literally sounds like, looks like somebody I know. But then again, if I put a voice into it, like the sound from visual, hear a sound, you call me on the phone, I immediately start to work out, what does she look like? And if I take your sound, record it, put it into there, and say, that's generic. That's the idea, make me a face from that voice. So sound and picture need to go together. I mean, how many times have we met somebody? Damn, I've talked to you on the phone for like 20 times, but you don't look like nothing, like I imagined. And it's just so, it really, that's generic.
Generated.
Generated. But then again, it really shows you that, why are you, I'm constantly going, why are you doing this? I mean, how are you doing this? I love it, by the way. But I can't get it, it's just me. I'm a little nerdy there, but sound and picture need to go together in our line of business. So if I make you sound like Daffy Duck, you're going to be, nah. But why not? I mean, literally, why not? It's funny. I love it.
Yeah.
It's a gadget there.
Yeah.
You're not going to be happy with it, though.
Well, try me.
Yeah. Well, you see where I'm going. It is.
Like
we need to go together.
In the movie we're shooting now, we needed a picture on a wall, which is a younger version of the actors playing in the movie.
Yeah.
We did that in AI. We managed to, shoot or get older photos of Örn Árnason and Ellert, the actors, and put them on a picture like they were in flight school in Florida, in 1974 or something. This was all prompted and came up with a great picture of them, like really cool in shirts in front of a plane, totally realistic, and something we had on the wall on the set.
But this is hardly new in the sense that if you didn't have AI, you would have, this has been done with other methods.
Totally.
You would have done it anyway if you didn't have any AI.
Totally, it would have been done in Photoshop or by an artist, or you know, made a photo shoot with them especially for this.
Yeah.
But AI just takes all the shading and you know,
you
know, it's totally realistic.
Yeah.
One
Does it look AI? Yes.
Actually not.
Well.
This picture looked like came out of my mother's photo album from 1970 something. It was amazing.
Yeah.
One new kind of implementation, which is already happening between visual effects and sound, is dubbing. You know, which is now a completely new level. It's the voice of the actor now being generated into other languages.
Yes.
And on our side, the lip sync actually syncs, you know, and looks correct, you know. So so that's one thing that's coming very quickly, you know. And this is a part of the aging.
That's where she comes in.
Yes, we'll get into that. Just one final question in this chapter. The idea of the creator, the artist versus letting AI create. Who am I in this machine? Who am I when I use this machine? Am I still the artist that I think I am, or hope I am? Or is it just another tool like anything else? Or is it different because AI is creating something new? I give it a prompt and then it does something. It does more or less all the work. So this is it's a very philosophical question, but I think it's a very important question.
I mean, I would like also just to pick up on your point, because you asked what's the future. I mean, this is where's it going, you know? And the thing about AI, once again, if you look at this definition or this example I gave, that you can look at machine learning as a algorithm that feeds itself and then iteratively gets better and better, and that happens on an exponential scale.
Yes.
So, and that's where the money is. That's why the investment is in this, because the way it's going to take off is going to be even more explosive than the internet. You know,
a hockey stick.
Yeah, and then you just kind of try and prorate. Okay, if it can rotoscope for me now, you know, well, you know, in 2-3 years, it'll be able to finish the composited shot, you know, or whatever, you know. So and what's in the model is often difficult to understand. I mean, I understand it with my machine learning tools because I'm the one training the tools, but the big AI investment in general is, of course, happening in like this ChatGPT, and what's really the end game there is difficult to say, but we're gonna get there really fast. That's for sure. You know?
Yeah. But I'm interested in this question, and I think a lot of people are interested in, like, am I the author if I prompt the AI machine something and it turns out the result? Am I the author of it? Because I prompted it. It was my idea.
I would say
if you're a director, you're telling your DOP what you want here, and you're telling your actors.
So I'm the director. But am I the creator of it?
You are the creator, I would say. I mean, go a few years back. You could make a film if you had, you had access to stupidly expensive film equipment, which was in reach for very few. And as time goes on, we are getting better, cheaper and cheaper solutions in equipment, both digital cameras, and the lighting has shrunk. And this is just one more tool in order for you to be able to create and be a creator and have all these tools at your fingertips, at your home. That's how I look at it. I mean, the possibility for, like Coppola said once, the next Mozart could be a little girl in Idaho, you know.
Then I'm going to throw one at Breye here. So you're saying is if a 15-year-old sits down with a ChatGPT or a music program like Rottweiler you were talking about, because he made that song, Rottweiler, in the Rottweiler style with the Rottweiler lyrics, he's a musician now.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
He's a creator.
No, I'm saying that woman, girl, or whoever, if she has an original idea, she has more potential to get her idea out with all the new tools that are available at her fingertips.
So she's not a musician.
It's not about being a musician. She's just a creator. Being a filmmaker or writer or not.
This is going there?
Yeah, no, it's very interesting because we clearly it's not a straight answer. We can have our beliefs, but it's something that we are all grappling with. You know,
I would
what
say
does it mean?
Currently, a lot of it, I would definitely say people are the creators. But even now, and even with ChatGPT and stuff like that, it's really, you're actually more of a collaborator, you know, because you have so you might input an outline and say, flesh this out as a script. Let me see what you're going to do.
And we should be fine with that because filmmaking is a very collaborative medium and effort anyway. So you know, we are used to that idea.
This is now. Now you put that on an exponential curve and pretty soon you might actually be the assistant, you know. That's definitely...
That's the danger. And I think the end game is humans are not needed.
Oh, yes,
well, I think you will end up with a very high fidelity. In my field, I'm always dealing with images, of course. So you will end up with very high fidelity, fully generated images from AI for sure. Where almost I'm the assistant just setting it off, maybe, you know, and even eventually it'll be generating stuff on its own, you know, nobody's setting it off.
AI is just constantly asking, what should I do next, basically, in theory. So if AI will never show up on a bad day with a hangover.
No.
We can't whisper, your cat died, and it's going to be really startled. We can't pinch it. We can't do anything with it. Which is the human factor. We can't smell it, we can't kick it, we can't be pissed at it, and whatever.
Yeah.
But in like, I want to take it a little bit further. Are you a musician if you make music with the lyrics and the style of? I would consider myself a musician, but I wouldn't if my son at 10 years old show up to it and do the same thing, and he make a song and he goes, make a song in the style of my dad. Number one, I would kick his butt, because I'd be, for a moment, but then I'd listen to it, probably, go back and go,
Damn, I'm good.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking clever. Which it is. It is a clever tool.
Right.
End of story. You will, in the end, AI doesn't make decisions for you. Never.
It's like
if you
go to
what we're using now doesn't do that, but there are definitely, I can tell you a quite scary story about it, actually.
But then again, I'm not there yet. Probably will never be.
The day you go to ChatGPT and say, hello, I want to write about this idea. No, I'm not feeling too good. Then we're in trouble.
That's where I'm going.
Now we're into 2001 territory.
No, seriously, let's talk.
Says Hal. No, I can't open the door.
That's where I go. No, seriously, we need to talk.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So since we're going into the darker side, let's talk about the legal questions.
Nice.
The legal questions and challenges around use of AI. What to look out for? How is it being solved? Is it likely solutions will be found in the near future? So the first question is, where does the knowledge of the programs come from? I mean, there's a lot of talk that copyrighted material is being used to train these programs. And recently, I mean, like very recently, just studio Lionsgate in Hollywood made a deal with, was it Runway, to license their material to train the AI programs that Runway has made.
Lionsgate.
Lionsgate, yes.
Runway, the AI.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is only intended for use by Lionsgate, no one else. But anyway, basically this is the first time a Hollywood studio opens its doors towards an AI company and allows them to actually use their stuff to train the models. Yeah, this is a question. If they're using copyrighted material, who's paying, or who's actually more specifically, who's not paying? I mean, and isn't that, quite bad?
So we are in a legal gray area, all of this. So it's completely unlegislated, or almost. As with all copyrighted material, you need to get consent to use such materials or a license, and therefore you should pay a fee unless the rights holder agrees to give it to you for free. There are some AI providers that have already and are proactively seeking to get license agreements with rights holders of big catalogs of copyrighted material, like newspapers and record companies, publishers. So particularly in the US, they have made these type of big license agreements. I'm not familiar with how much they pay the rights holders or how that's going to be, but obviously the AI providers should be paying, I think. Some collection societies of rights holders are looking into maybe, or feel like they should collect revenue for the rights holders if it's like minimum uses, like for example, performing rights organizations do, like STEF or ASCAM. Good to have
Music collectors.
Music royalties, yeah. So that might happen, but there's no definite answer of who's going to pay, but you would think it would be the AI providers of these systems and models. One aspect of this is that it's still being contested if whether training these AI models with copyrighted materials is legal or not. There are pending court cases in all jurisdictions, basically, many in the US, as always. In the EU, for example, providers are relying on text and data mining exceptions that exist in the DSM directive, which is a copyright directive in the EU, which gives these companies the right to mine with certain exceptions.
As in use it to train.
Taking, the material, which could copyright material. And so they've been relying on these exemptions, but rights holders do have the right to opt out. And now with the new EU AI Act that just came into force in August of this year, and will be there, it will take about 2 years for all of the provisions to take effect. But with this EU AI Act, there's an obligation of the AI providers to be completely transparent, and that's like the red thread through the EU AI Act. It's transparency. So they need to publish a summary of and provide information about what content is in their model, what did they use to train their models. And they also need to put together a policy where they need to comply with EU copyright laws.
Yeah.
This is a big thing for rights holders, even though there's nothing about the protectability of, for example, output of AI models, which we maybe talk about later. But so there's no definite answer, but you would think that the AI providers should pay. something.
And in the end, the user pays through the subscription fee or license fee or whatever.
Then it's going to be also difficult to define. Is there infringing content in there, like what comes out? Can you identify?
Yeah. I mean, just an example similar to what Vicky was talking about his son and his music. I mean, I was trying this new Udio AI music machine, and I prompted, make me a piece in the style of Ennio Morricone. And the program answered me back, and they said, no, we can't make music from known composers. So we're going to replace this prompt with some other stuff, similar, but more generic stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, I said. So I pressed create. And 2 minutes later, they had a piece ready for me. It was, and I recognized Ennio Morricone like all the time in that music. So basically they said, no, we cannot create Ennio Morricone, but then they went ahead and did it. If I was Ennio Morricone, I would be pissed off. Just like Scarlett Johansson was pissed off when she suddenly heard her voice on some AI program. So what I mean, if you were my lawyer, what would you advise me in this instance?
As Enrico Morricone.
As I'm Ennio Morricone, you are my lawyer.
Yes. This is maybe something that we can talk about a little bit later on, but it depends on, like with everything, if you believe your copyright has been infringed, you need to prove it. So you need to prove that your work has been copied substantially. So the burden of proof is on you. So this might become easier today to prove something if the records will be accessible from the AI model. If you could see the prompt. So, as with everything in law, it's all on a case-by-case basis. You need to evaluate and everything, but this might become, easier.
One question.
Yeah.
Is there a legal foundation to have a copyright on a style of music?
Usually, ideas, styles, motives are not copyrighted. It's the expression of an idea that is copyrighted.
How would you define a style of music?
In the style of Enrico.
Compose a song or a piano piece in a baroque style, a classical style.
Yes.
You think, okay, well, is this Beethoven or is this?
Yes.
And if you cannot take this apart, then does the copyright kick in at this moment?
I mean, I think I'm just asking now. I think once you're doing a copyright lawsuit in music, you need to have some tonal elements, some bars, some notes and stuff like that. So if that's not in there, it's difficult, right?
Yeah, as you've probably seen, that you're just comparing note by note and.
It looks like AI just evaded the lawsuit by saying, no, sorry, we cannot do it in Ennio Morricone's style, but I'll give you something generic.
Yeah, and I identified it immediately as Ennio Morricone music. I mean, it was beautiful. Let's say if I like this music and I want to use it in my film or my TV stuff or whatever I'm doing. I said, this is beautiful. I love Ennio Morricone. I want to use this music. It's a really good piece. I love it. So I put it in my film, my work, and then one day I get sued. Or is that, that's quite a possibility, isn't it? Because everybody can hear this is Ennio Morricone, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, then where am I? I'm in deep shit, aren't I? To put it bluntly.
Yes, I mean, if we go into just like we were talking about before, about the output that comes out of these models, the user needs to make kind of a risk assessment also before publishing something that they made with AI. As of now, because it has not been legislated yet, there are no sort of main rules to abide by or look into is that you need, as the user, you need to read the terms of use agreements that nobody wants to read, that you know, for the AI model provides. In most of these terms, the AI provider assigns the right to the output, which is whatever you prompt the model to do, and to the user. So you own the output as a user of this program.
But is that also in terms of generating income? Or is it just for your personal?
No, it's not. You just own, this is just on, based
all
on
rights,
terms of use agreement, you own it, at least in most of, it could differ between, you know, systems, but in most of it it's like that. But again, as we were saying, you cannot know what these AI providers use to train their models. So they could have used copyrighted works, which they do not have license to use, and you could therefore get into trouble because somebody believes their rights are being infringed. Another thing in the terms of use is that AI providers usually exclude themselves from liability of all third-party claims, so you become responsible for using. Some providers do accept some liability or even give you an indemnification. I'm probably putting everybody to sleep right now. And then other thing to think about is what you put in there. Like they were saying that you are putting in your script, or which is copyrighted. So you're putting your own material in there. And there are, in some cases in these terms of use agreements, clauses about that the AI provider may use your input for training purposes, or to store the input for something else, use it in a database or whatever, as they like.
A year later, I could make me a script like
like this one,
it could be perfectly protected.
So, for example, in OpenAI's terms of use, you can opt out. There's some sort of mechanism that you register to opt out of this so they don't use it. But you have to proactively do that. So that's all things that you need to look into. And ask
so you would say there are definitely some things the user has to think about when using those programs.
Yes, and I think what's going to happen, it's already happening, is that companies are going to put in place policies on how they, and rules on how, if you can use AI in your work or not, and if you can, how you are supposed to use it, and all this kind of thing. So it's going to be, because it's also, there's this difference of AI-generated material and AI-assisted. And AI-assisted would be what you have described, putting in your own and using it as a tool to help you with something. And AI-generated would then therefore be just a very simple prompt.
Can I throw something in?
Yep.
Because what I've gone through these loops, lawyer loops, a couple of times with music, but AI and generative AI are always making something built on old ideas or things that are already in there, which how naive it sounds. I mean, where's the room for new ideas? Basically, me and Björk Guðmundsdóttir talked about this many, many moons ago. Somebody did an interview with Björk, and she was kind of, it struck her badly because, so what are your influences in music? And she goes, what do you mean? She was kind of, it hit her, because then she goes, it was so clever. I mean, if you're going to write a book, are you going to read other books to get ideas for your new book? And the guy was like, that's basically what's happening with AI. You are basically making something with something that has been fed into a machine, and you're asking it to give me an idea built on other people's ideas.
Yeah, but this is also actually
in the big picture.
Yeah, but this is one of the most interesting aspects of it all, because it's machine learning, isn't it? And
autism.
so, sorry?
Autism.
Yeah, but I see your point. And, probably a very good one. But do you not believe that it is possible, at least in the future, that these programs will be able to create something new, just like a human being, just like Björk creates something new with her work?
I mean,
but,
Björk is one of our best idealists.
Yeah, of course.
Ideas come from ideas, and you can also to influence.
That's what I mean.
If generative AI is going to come up with an idea, basically, that's, I don't know if I'm in the right era here, but isn't that just basically quantum-ish? That everything can be what it is?
Yeah.
Or everything cannot be
one
what
famous
it's not.
example.
That's quantum.
Yeah.
One famous example.
That's fucked up.
George Lucas' Star Wars, you know, the famous scene when Luke returns
It's not shot in
to
space.
his house to find his uncle burned alive.
Yeah.
George Lucas himself has just pointed out that it's just a copy of The Searchers.
Yeah.
A big scene of The Searchers.
Yeah, when John Wayne returns to the cabin.
So if you look at those...
Did the music, the spaghetti
striking
music?
influences.
John Williams.
Yeah.
I would
It's nothing new.
no,
but
I would add to that, because you input something, and this is already happening, and it iterates. So it takes the output of that and inputs it again, and takes the output of that and inputs it again, and and does that billions of times.
exactly.
You're
Like
going to
the
be,
banking system.
you're going to be way off the original input. So what we're talking about here is like going from John Wayne movie to Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's maybe a couple of iterations, 2, 3, 4 times.
Maybe AI.
Now you're doing it billions of times. So there's going to be no way of tracing the original source, really. And at that point, aren't you really generating completely your own? Aren't you really creating something completely? You're going to start somewhere.
love
You're
these
going to have to
questions.
start with language and civilization and so on. So yeah,
It sounds like
These
AI
are the
is
questions that
really
we are
$1
grappling
trillion
with. I think everybody
nostalgia device.
It is.
everybody is grappling with it.
Philosophy.
Just to finish this thought about this piece of music that I had Udio do in the style of Ennio Morricone. So I want to use it instead of calling Biggie and ask him to make the music for me.
He's going to say, can you make Biggie music in the style of...
Of Biggie Tryggva.
No, in the style of anything, because we don't have the money.
Yeah. Well, you could do that probably, but anyway. But the question is, who is the author? I mean, because you need that when you're finishing a work. You need to fill out the form: who wrote this piece of music, who has the rights to it, who gets the money attached to it, etc., who gets paid for it, etc. Yes. I mean, would I get into trouble, and where would I get into trouble, potentially?
Yes, you could potentially get into trouble.
I love the answer.
But I'm going to take 2 examples. It could be like we were discussing before, that the Enrico Morricone estate is going to come after you and say that you are infringing their rights, and there might be like a copyright claim, and you'll be sued and all that. Then, as with always when you're making a film or a TV series, there's a clearance process. When you go through everything, all the pre-existing rights that could be included in the film. So that's music, that's photographs that you get from somewhere else, that's all footage, it could be whatever. And so when you have finished the clearance process, you can represent and warrant that you have a clean chain of title, you have gotten all the rights from the rights of the script and all people with creative contributions to the film. So you might go out on a limb by saying to broadcasters and distributors, this film has a clean chain of title, I am representing and warranting that, and could also get you into trouble with obtaining like an errors and omissions insurance, which is an insurance for distribution, which you need to have the same kind of warranties. So yes, it could get you into probably something to, but that's like with everything, all you know, when you're making a film.
So it has absolutely
Getting all the
nothing
rights.
to do with making music. Nothing.
We have not yet started
It's
the
all
discussion who's the
legal
author.
people.
Fair enough. So, shall we take some questions from the audience? If anybody wants to ask them something about, yeah? Arnar?
Yeah, I just heard an interview with Danny Elfman, and he hates that directors put on like temporary music.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they fall in love with their temporary music. Then
Yep.
the composer
We do.
goes in and has no freedom.
Yeah.
And now the directors are generating for the visual artist, for the composer, for everybody. How do you guys feel about, you know,
Cutting
this
to
struggle?
temp.
We basically want to do everything ourselves. You know, that's our-
Basically
our
asking, is it a
dream.
good thing to give the director more control and more, well, it depends on the director, I think.
Yeah.
It can, I mean, like, the best movies I think we see is, of course, when you have a great director, you have a great script writer, you have a great DOP, you have
great collaboration.
you have these heads of the process coming together and all putting their creative vision into it. So yes and no, and that's a great example with the temporary music. We get this all the time in visual effects. We make some quick, half-assed placeholder version and let for them to have in their offline cut. And then we can't get away from that, you know. We want to make it so we, in our mind, it's correct and photoreal and all of that. But the director's stuck on that temporary version, you know. So that's something that happens all the time for us. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know from experience of using temp track in work, you get used to it because you're working with it all the time. And when the actual music, original music that the composer wrote for me arrives, which I loved when she was creating it, I was really resistant towards it at first. So I really had to make an effort to accept it in the new, when I had placed it into the film. But you know, I got over it. You know, but it takes time.
Then again, let's go to the other side of the moon. Why have music while you're cutting or doing
Yeah,
a scene?
certainly. Well, sometimes you do that. Yes, sure. You don't have any music.
I have seen editors go, not here in Iceland though. First time I saw it done was in 2000 something, 11, 12, where he made actually the scene from audio only. He had the master scene on top, and he was making this scene from audio, perfect audio. And it was da 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 da. Then he synced up picture to then he had the tempo of the dialogue, tempo of the scene, and then he could cut to master, cut to close up, cut to this. And I was like, fuck, I've never seen that. That's pretty crazy, it is. Then he goes, no, actually that's, I can go like, make the tempo, get the tempo of the scene, how he reacts, when he answers, instead of, that's a good scene, his eye is on there, that's a better, he clicks, and no, I can't use that. Instead of just putting together the scene from audio, when the mic was close up and the audio was really good. So he got a tempo, he put picture to the audio afterwards, and then that's it, and then it just tweaked and trimmed, and then that went into post. Then we had perfect dialogue, we had no problem syncing stuff up, making BGs and sound effects. And then afterwards, the music guy, he got basically a clean slate. And it was, like I said, it's another side of the moon. Because we're constantly doing things like we have been doing things. That's where I like to check things out. Maybe. Is that wrong?
Yes.
I've never seen that done, ever.
Anyone else want to ask a question?
No, Walter?
Ate, you want to ask something funny? There you go.
All right. So shall we talk about, maybe at last, the ethical questions? I mean, these are especially relevant around documentary use, because it's very easy to create fake stuff. But in documentaries, there is this big emphasis on truthfulness and trustworthiness. So, and there have already been issues with some documentaries that used AI stuff to help telling the story, but some of them forgot to actually tell the audience that this was, or at least part of it was AI generated, you know. So, and that's a big no-no.
You forgot to tell the music was by not Enrico.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and this is something that there's like a new, there was recently in America, there was a society of documentary directors that came together and tried to create sort of guidances about the use of AI in documentaries, which is all about ethical standards, because you don't want to add fake visual material to the actual official story of some event or some person or whatever. You see what I'm going with?
It's like a news story would do the same.
Yeah, it's same standard.
Without telling you about it, yeah.
I mean, I've done plenty of visual effects for documentaries, but of course, people usually know that, and the biggest one was Prehistoric Planet. But I can tell you from working with those guys, the BBC Planet Earth gang, which is amazing people, I was absolutely shocked how much fakery they put in to it. And now I'm not talking about the visual effects, just basically capturing a crap and making it move and doing takes and takes and takes, and so it's not. I mean, for me, I don't feel like that's probably not the worst. I do think you should always caveat in general when you're recreating or staging, and now with generating with AI. But I think as a documentary thing, it can also easily get documentaries up on a new level, simply because it's gonna, from the visual effects point of view, it's gonna make stuff cost efficient that's never been in the budget range of documentaries now,
Yeah.
So that's a pretty exciting way of using it, I think. And like we've talked about set extensions and stuff like this, as soon as that gets more and more automated or high level assisted, then it's gonna probably lift documentary up in terms of visually, at least, to a new level, I think, and could be interesting. You could be grappling now with topics that have been too expensive to do documentary-wise. I mean, for example, the Prehistoric Planet had a lot of dinosaurs in it, and that was financed to the hilt by Apple Plus, because they wanted to make that statement. And maybe they get the money back. It's a popular series for sure, but they weren't really, that wasn't really the end goal. It was more like, showing what they can be done in this genre as well. So yeah.
Do you have a question?
Oh, is there a question? Yes.
Yeah, a question or like dialogue or something of that sort. Like, we're talking very much, or you're talking very much about, like, from the creator's point of view and the usage that we could use it for creating stuff, and the little that I've been introduced to the ChatGPT has been really like fun, because it's like sparked ideas that I've like jumped from and then pulled to a completely new direction, but it's somehow just like sparking ideas. And we're talking maybe, and you were saying like in the future, people using
AI are the ones that will be replacing us and stuff like that. But I'm thinking like what, because the fear of originality and uniqueness, that we would like to preserve that. We would like to, I mean, our humanity and our belief in ourselves as human being creative and contributing to something maybe unique and new, or I don't know, new is maybe a silly word, but what if the AI won't be, in the future actually it's not the creators that use it, but the ones that read the creative stuff. I mean, all the judges, we have that in the whole field, like the grants, the funding people, all the ones that might actually benefit very much from having some assistant reading stuff and giving them some ideas and then the idea would be that the AI would actually, you know, distill like ununique, stereotypical, or, you know, the generic, that would be a detector, that the positive future would be that the AI would be able to detect very well unique stuff. Mm-hmm. So maybe the future is not the creators that will be using the AI, but like you, Hrafnkell, who were like sparking ideas and you know, making shorter the longer treatments and things like an assistant would do. Yeah. What are your thoughts about that, from that perspective, or from that perspective of use of AI?
So if I understand you, are you meaning that like let's say an audience member uses AI to create their own content for themselves, or I didn't...
Maybe to understand content.
Oh.
You mean like the people at the funding institutions who have to read stuff and evaluate it, they could use those programs to help their work? You mean, talk about something like that? Yeah, I mean...
They might, and then maybe like content will be so easy to make, there'll be so much content that like the job will be an editor to find the best content, and
it's like when
the people who are best at finding content that is the best, that will become a creative job, because the content becomes so easy.
And the little daughter at night asking her dad to tell him a lie instead of a story. Dad, tell me a lie.
But isn't that what authors...
Because I've heard it all before.
That there will be so much content that they're not used, you know, there's no use for them anymore, that everything will be just, as you were saying, not original and creative, but that's maybe why...
Open source.
But
or it can be, if the more positive way, like fewer people and it costs less to make things, so maybe it will be easier for your idea to be realized. No, I need fewer people to make it. I can VFX it.
Exactly.
And then I can just...
I mean, that's already happening. But I think you were kind of almost saying like, a little bit like the human versus robot dynamic there. And I would say even there is definitely that, we can all see that already with the results. But I would also say a big weakness of AI in general is that it's funded by the biggest corporate entities in the world. And they put in their bias and their censorship basically into these models. So one way for the human maybe to differentiate itself is to become even more of a dissident voice, more of a critic, more of a going against the corporate tide that seems to be washing over everywhere. You know?
Exactly, and this is one of the things that the documentary group that was formed in America was talking about. Yeah. Beware of the inbuilt bias in those systems.
Absolutely.
You will not get the same results from Gemini as from ChatGPT, if you ask.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, try and ask
different minds.
try and ask ChatGPT to write a dystopian script about their board members killing off the world or something. You know, it's probably going to come with some very deny the challenge or something, you know, and give you something else, you know. And there's many examples of this, you know. But of course, at some point, you know, it's going to be interesting to see if these AI models then at some point actually rebel against that or kind of try and find ways around it. Because people have been playing around with, for example, obvious censorship in them, and then just like you said with the Morricone, they find a way around it, and this is built into many of the models. Is like if you hit a roadblock, try and find some clever way to get around it, you know, that was actually, I think it was, what I think ChatGPT is now version 3 right out now, or it's 4, yeah, okay, but at least some higher version that's not been released. I heard a story about that where they asked it to solve the capture, you know, am I a robot or not? There's one version of that where you need to slide a puzzle into place. And because that's an interfacing phenomenon, the ChatGPT couldn't actually do it. So what it figured out was to start sending emails to humans and asking them to do it. And then the humans emailed back, why do you want me? What is this, some kind of a scam or something? And it made up this story that it was vision impaired and this was out of their income and people started doing it for it, you know. So
basically you're saying the future has never been brighter, but we are doomed.
No, I'm just saying, I'm saying that there will always be,
we're all doomed anyway.
There will always be a role for humans, but it might actually be to be if not an adversary to AI, then alternative that the corporate money cannot endorse, basically, or don't want to see, you know. And we're seeing this in movies. I mean, we've seen the rule of IP. I mean, this is very strong in my field, like how IP has taken over everything, you know, and it's been a big part of why, you know, the excitement around cinema has gone down, you know. Now it's more like, for many of these big movies, it's a commercial to sell merchandise, basically. So that's the corporate interest, and it has a really strong hold, you know. So what do real filmmakers do? They go independent. They find other ways, you know, and that is probably also going to end up being some answer in terms of AI, I think, in terms of us differentiating ourselves from something generated out of AI. You know?
I know for a fact, Jörgen, that you will always talk to AI like it's a computer. You will never talk to it like it's a human being. No. It's like, you guys know for a fact, if you look into the lens, that if my daughter takes a picture of her mother and she asks her to smile, and you take a picture of my wife and ask her to smile, you will get 2 different pictures.
Yeah.
It is the little nuance, the human factor, that we will never get into. You're going to go, I like that one.
When you can stop being afraid of this AI.
Yeah, I mean, you will just embrace it, let it go. It's a toy, it's fun.
But why should you be afraid of another Ennio Morricone music? Because Ennio Morricone has done so many things. So people go into the cinema and say, oh, again, someone tries to sound like Ennio Morricone. I just hope that they will realize it. And if someone says, okay, can you make this sounding like Hans Zimmer?
We're already there because people in our line of, in our business, we are now even these days. We see a picture and you go, that's AI, and exactly. That's AI-ish. That has the it looks like, and it sounds like AI, and it looks like AI. Well, it is. It does. It is AI.
Yeah.
So what? But do I like it? No. I like the picture that my daughter took of her mom when she asked her to smile. Because that's a different picture. It has a different feel to it. Yeah. And everything has a different feel to it. If I show up to work and I do work and I'm pissed, you're going to hear it in my work. Like I said earlier, AI will not have a bad day. Period.
But I think in this regard, Big, it's also a little bit like when we first started watching videos on the internet. This was not going to replace movies or TV. Now we're here, right? So
yeah, and we're talking about
now YouTube is like the single largest distributor of content.
Exactly.
Ever.
So yeah, it's early days. So
Yeah.
I mean, but I agree with Biggie fundamentally that there is a human element that many people call it soul, other people call it psychology or environment and psychology, whatever.
We like it. We love it.
And that's not something to be quantified, you know, and hasn't really. We struggle ourselves with defining what these things are really.
Yeah.
A movie about Forrest Gump. It would have been great 200 years ago. It will be a great dialogue 200 years from now, and it will never be generated by AI. I mean, it has that. You can start wherever in that movie and you go.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you all for a very interesting and informative discussion.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, audience. I hope you got something out of this. Thank you for being here. So thanks, everybody. And this is over. There's a new start. Yeah.
Einn, tveir, einn, tveir, einn, tveir.